Hello everyone, I'm Allie and welcome to my channel. So here we are with Mystic Destiny, Serendipity of Aeons, and Shou's Route. So let's just get going. I'm just going to get right into it every episode. I'm not going to explain the episodes before that or anything like that. So I'm just going to go. Shinji and Tatsuya are from my advanced class, but they agreed to do a demonstration for us here today. Tatsuya steps forward and grabs his left forearm near his elbow with his right hand. He closes his eyes for just a moment before running his hand over his arm. I hear a faint crackling sound from where I sit on the edge of my seat. I don't realize what he's done at first until I see the falling mist from his arm. I quickly examine him and see Tatsuya's covered his left arm with sparkling ice. Okay, I don't know why there were kids going crazy outside, but alright. There's always something in my episodes if you haven't noticed. There's also a blade that juts far apart past his fist that looks razor sharp. I can't help it when a gasp escapes my mouth at the sight of that beautifully shimmering ice blade. I'm sorry, the kid just caught me off guard. They're like, This is one example of cryokinesis applied for use in battle. Tatsuya has effectively covered his arm in incredibly hard ice to act both as armor and as a weapon. Before we move on to the next demonstration, does anyone have any questions? Still amazed at the sight before me, I raise my hand. Yes, Fujimoto? From what I understand, this is the most peaceful period of time there's been so far. Why would a supernatural being need to learn to fight? There are whispers throughout the class following my question. Takumi starts whispering to me. Okay, I'm trying to remember. Looks like you've just outed yourself as being a complete newbie. What? How? It's true that monsters no longer freely roam the land, and supernaturals have opted to hide themselves as much as possible in today's world. But the fact is that there are still plenty of reasons to learn to use your power to defend yourselves. From barroom brawls to supernatural wars, supernaturals are still people. And people will always have disputes, as they have always. As they always have. Hikaru sighs and suddenly looks very tired. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. So that's why you're here. To help you gain mastery of your power so you can defend yourself. I'm taken aback by Hikaru's speech. I sense I've struck a nerve, and I feel like an idiot for asking such an obvious question. I want to curl up and hide, and as dramatic as it sounds, I feel like I'm going to die of embarrassment. But then I feel a warm hand on mine. I look up and see Shou's reaching over Takumi. Aww, he's so sweet. Just like that, I don't quite feel like disappearing into the earth. Don't worry about it. Professor K is known for getting a little emotional sometimes. And he knows you don't know about this stuff. Thanks. Can you guys maybe not do that kind of stuff right now? And pay attention to the lecture? Shinji is about to do something super cool. I like how Takumi has purple eyes. I never realized that until now. Sorry. We quickly drop each other's hands, and I turn my attention back down towards Shinji. So it's okay if I do a combat demonstration then? Of course. We'll be doing combat later here, too. Just don't get carried away. Perish the thought, Professor K. I'd never do anything dangerous to my buddy Tatsu. Shinji raises both his hands in front of his torso as if he were holding something that we couldn't see. I hear a different sort of crackling this time, and the air around Shinji's hands start to shimmer and distort. I swear, Shinji, if you... Don't move. Suddenly, I see white flashes of something leap between Shinji's hands. Almost at the same time as I realize that what I'm seeing, he pushes out both hands toward Tatsuya's ice-covered arm. The electricity arcs from his hands to the ice. Almost immediately, the ice begins to melt and turn into a white mist. Everyone in the classroom seems to gasp at once. Even Hikaru seems a little surprised, but he quickly turns to face the class with an awkward smile. Okay, so that was one way of disabling an opponent who uses ice. If you happen to be lucky enough to be an electrokinetic. I think that was a nice conclusion to our lecture. So we're done for today. I feel a hand on my shoulder which snaps me out of my trance. I look up to see Shou standing next to me. Come on, I'll walk you home. Hey, what about me? Can I come? Shou looks at me questioningly, and I nod and grab my bag. It's not far, and I'm feeling fine, but sure. Tatsuya and Shinji start to argue about something almost immediately. But as they argue, they leave the class together before we can catch up to them. Sounds like a married couple, don't they? In the hallway, all I hear are people talking about how cool the demonstrations were. Takumi, beside me, literally hasn't stopped talking since I told him he could come. He excitedly bounces along. Did you guys see that? I didn't even know Shinji could do that. It was so inventive, too. I would have never thought to do that. Man, I wish I'd paid better attention to physics. I glance over at Shou, who has been quiet since the class ended. I want to ask Shou what's wrong, but my eyes fall onto Takumi, who's skipping right in between us. I don't know that Shou would appreciate me asking in front of Takumi. I make a mental note to have a serious talk with Shou once we're alone. Oh, sorry. I think if I look hard enough, I can see actual stars in Takumi's eyes. I think they're purple. Aw, damn it. But Tatsuya might come home in a bad mood because of that. But still, it was so cool. I wish I could do awesome stuff like you guys can. You derp. Arg. I want to have magic powers. My god. I guess his voice, because it's so weird in my mouth, it's hard to read. Yeah, they're pretty great when you're good with them. Shou mumbles this under his breath while Takumi continues talking. But I heard him. I heard him perfectly. I'm gonna go see if I can catch up with Shinji and Tatsuya, so I can ask them more. Come on, Munchie. Before I can so much as open my mouth, Takumi grabs my hand and drags me off. I almost stumbled at the quick tug, but managed to break into a run instead of falling flat on my face. I look back to see Shou running after us, apparently keeping up pretty easily. In the end, we did catch up to Tatsuya and Shinji, and Takumi somehow convinced everyone to hang out together. I get the feeling Takumi's the type that can talk his way out of anything. So with that settled, Shinji offered to take us to a little park just outside of campus. Apparently Takumi had so many questions that he didn't want to wait to get the answers. Even though I didn't say it out loud, I'm definitely curious to find out more about, well, everything. So I didn't mind getting dragged along to hang out. After a quick trip to the restroom, I plop down on the bench next to Shou. We sit close together, listening to Takumi shoot off rapid-fire questions. So Shinji, are you a lightning mage or what? I can handle all of the elements to varying degrees.
Wow, that's amazing. So, you're probably the most powerful one here, right?
I glance over at Shou, who's sitting next to me. I don't know him well enough to say he's not acting like himself, but I feel like he's been unusually quiet. Yeah, right. You want to see power? Then let's have a proper demonstration. Ice versus ice. No thanks, I'm not stupid. He turns to Takumi, ignoring Tatsuya's smug grin. It's true that most people only can utilize one element, but being able to use more than one doesn't mean much when it comes to overall power. In fact, 9 times out of 10, if they're using the same element, a specialist will beat someone who can use more than one. You catching this, Munchie? I snap out of staring at Shou. What? Oh, yeah. And we are going to say... What are we going to say? Oh, yeah. There are advantages and disadvantages to both ways. I'm actually gonna let you guys go here due to the fact that you know why. Anyway, I hope you are enjoying, and bye!